Hey guys, it's D of F2 Nerd Talk. You listen to a brand new episode of FTO Podcast, so make sure you sit back and enjoy. Also, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe on every social media page. Enjoy the show. All right, part 2 of the episode 25 of
Take two.
Take 2. I am one of your hosts of the show. I am D of F2 Nerd Talk.
And I'm Anton Sixxx of Cheesy Controller Podcast.
Bro, we got a lot to talk about today. But you know what? Like, the lotness comes from one piece of news. And that one piece of news is E3. Like, E3 is canceled. It's done. And so many people were bowing out. You were texting me about this as it was happening. Like, man, they're just going to cancel E3. My source is telling me E3 is going to get canceled and it's going to be done, and that's going to be that. And no more than like a day later, it happened.
Yeah, so looking originally posted March 30th at 4:27 p.m. It was almost a year after announcing its return. This is coming from IGN. The Entertainment Software Association, or the ESA, announced today to its members that this year's Electronic Entertainment Expo, aka E3, has been canceled. IGN can confirm. Two sources have confirmed to IGN that the organization announced the cancellation via email sent out to its members today. The email said that while E3 remains a beloved event and brand, that the 2023 version simply did not garner the sustained interest necessary to execute in a way that would showcase the size, strength, and impact of our industry. And then...
That's big. That's crazy, man. That's E3 they're talking about. Wow.
Well, I mean, E3 just kind of started to fall apart, like... I'd say about...
I heard, right?
Yeah, well, I'd say as early as 2018...
Wow.
Because 2018, everybody who had an E3 badge, their personal information was just available on a web page. So, like, people's addresses got leaked. Like,
Whoa.
It was, yeah.
That's big.
Yeah. So, and I want to say that was either 2017 or 2018, that everybody who was, like, involved and had, like, a path to E3 kind of got doxxed, essentially.
Oh man, wow! I didn't know that. Is that like one of the big reasons why no one's going to this year's E3, or is there more on top of that?
Well, this is more of a publisher thing. So they hadn't started selling tickets, which was kind of one of those red flags that came up early on of, hey, so, like, it's getting closer. Because it's supposed to be June, the first week of June. It's the first week of April. And hopefully you'd want people to be able to buy tickets, like, 2 months in advance, and book hotels and book flights and do all of those things. Like, kind of give people a decent enough runway into that. And more recently, E3 became... No, it had to have been 2018 the doxing happened, because 2019 they had it... I think that was the first year they had it to open to the public, and then they canceled it in 2020 due to COVID, and then they did it in 2021. They did a digital version, and then didn't do it in 2022, so... And now 2023, it's pretty much officially dead.
And like also like places like Nintendo and Sony, like they're reducing their presence at the show. That also was a big factor. I'm reading on Kotaku that also going downtown LA was kind of crappy for a lot of people, and it seemed like E3 couldn't figure out if they wanted to be a trade show for developers and retailers, or they wanted to do like live things. It seemed like there was a lot of different things that were going on with E3 that a lot of people just were not happy about. But all that being said, you told me like that there's a different convention coming up that people are really going to be gravitating towards. What was that convention you mentioned to me?
Summer Games Fest. So, for anybody who doesn't know, the past few years, pretty much, there was a point, I want to say in 2019, where Jeff Keighley was involved with the ESA and E3 and was hosting events for them and was involved with the convention itself. And Jeff Keighley decided, like, whatever happened, there's still no, like, official on the record story of what happened with Jeff Keighley and the ESA, that they decided to go separate ways. But they decide, like, he essentially is like, I wish them the best, but I got to move on and kind of like chart my own path. And this is after he had been doing the Game Awards for a few years. So it's the same guy who hosts the Video Game Awards who hosts Summer Game Fest now.
I mean, if you go, it's a funny thing. If you go to Jeff Keighley's page right now, you'll see that he pinned from like on March 30th to make sure you hit up
Summer Game Fest.
Summer Game Fest.
He hasn't missed a beat. Like with all these different companies pulling out. I remember when Ubisoft said, "Hey, we're not gonna be." They finally, because Ubisoft was the first set of people that were like, "Yeah, we're in." Then they were like, "Well, if it happens, we'll be there." And then it's like, "Well, we're not gonna be there." And then now it's not happening. So Ubisoft, when they announced that they wouldn't be at E3, Jeff Keighley, without hesitation, was just like, but their Ubisoft forward will be part of Summer Games Fest.
My goodness. I mean, that's how you do it, man. That's how you got it. He's on top of it. Like you said, he's on top of it. He's like putting his name everywhere out there. Summer Game Fest is coming Thursday, January 8th. It's going to be streaming live also. And like, if it's anything like the Game Awards, like that's game over, dude.
I mean, that's where we got the first trailer for Elden Ring, I want to say.
Exactly. Yeah. Diablo 4. Yep.
So
nuts, man.
Summer Games Fest the past couple years has had some of just like the biggest trailers of the summer, the biggest news of the summer. And even now because it's like the 1-2 punch of Game Awards and Summer Games Fest. So you're getting like pretty much once every 6 months, you're getting. And I mean, every year, all of the viewership of all of these things just keeps growing exponentially. And now that there is no E3 to compete, yeah, Jeff is just going to, Jeff Keighley will be a household name on the level like Miyamoto. Or like Reggie Fils-Aimé. Like, I know that's not the most, like, mainstream thing, but when you think summer video games, you got to think Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, I do. I just looked it up also because I want to see like what was happening with the Summer Game Fest, because if that is taking over what E3 was doing, like you got to know everything that's happening. So I looked it up. PlayStation is doing a showcase prior to the Summer Game Fest.
So like, that's rumored, unless while I was asleep in the last couple of hours, something has changed. But
it's still rumored.
Okay.
It's still rumored. Nothing has changed. This is all still rumored. Like the day you guys hearing this, nothing has changed. Hopefully nothing has changed also. But I was wondering if it does happen, if they do PlayStation do something, what could they possibly talk about? Like maybe Spider-Man? It's probably the only thing that they could talk about beforehand. But that wouldn't that come out prior to? I'm sure they would come out prior to. But yeah.
Well, if they do something before June, that gives us the rest of April and all of May to give PlayStation opportunity. And that's the thing. PlayStation's cooking on a lot of things. Yeah, Spider-Man's going to be a big one. But we know Spider-Man 2, like, that'll probably be where we get the first trailer, like the first real trailer that'll play ahead of Spider-Verse in theaters, like the Spider-Man 2, like, official trailer number 1, kind of, you know, like that energy. But there's a lot of stuff that, like, Helldivers 2 leaked, like, a while ago, and it seemed like it was meant to be part of a PlayStation showcase thing, and so at this point, Helldivers 2 could be a day and date launch, or it could be, and next month this is on PlayStation Plus Extra. So, and then we don't know what Sucker Punch is working on. We don't know what Naughty Dog is working. I mean, we assume Sucker Punch is Ghost of Tsushima 2, but getting
Right.
that announced would be cool. We don't know
About
what.
Starfield.
Well, Starfield's not going to be on PlayStation. We know for a fact.
Huh.
Yeah, Microsoft bought Bethesda, and all the new Bethesda
That's
games that
that's right.
didn't already sign an agreement are. So I'm trying to think. Is Starfield, Redfall, like all of those Bethesda games are
They're
Hi-Fi
not coming
Rush?
to the Gotcha.
Yeah, those aren't coming to PlayStation. And I mean, for the most part, those games weren't the games that were like drawing me to a system, you know? Like Skyrim was everywhere, and like I didn't play Oblivion when I had a 360, so, and then Morrowind is too far back for me, like, but yeah, Elder Scrolls 6 not being on PlayStation is not going to hurt me. Fallout 5 not being on PlayStation is not going to hurt me. Uh if I really need to play those games, they'll be available on Steam, and I'll play them
Yeah.
on my Steam Deck. And
I was just about to say, hearing you rattle them off like that, I feel like Steam has that covered. So yeah. Is there are you disappointed about E3? I know you told me also through communication prior to that you always wanted to go to E3, and now you
yeah,
feel like you won't have an opportunity to go there.
yeah. I mean, at this point, it's dead. It's done. It's
Yeah.
rest in peace, E3. Like a lot of people were posting their like favorite memories from like being at E3, like around the games industry on Twitter this week,
Oh,
and
the memories.
yeah, thinking back to like some of the hypest moments, like Kevin Butler on the PlayStation stage the year they had like they recreated the church from The Last of Us, and like had everybody inside of this church for to watch The Last of Us Part 2, like to watch a new big E3 trailer, thinking about like Breath of the Wild being at E3, just like hearing a lot of the stories and a lot of the sights and sounds and watching the press conferences, and just it's something. It's like, yeah, going to E3 would be on the list of things that, I'd always want to be able to do. I mean, I'm sure Summer Game Fest doesn't have that convention side to it quite yet.
I mean, not now. Yeah.
Right. So, and I mean, Reed Pop organizes PAX, and PAX East just recently happened. And I know Darren, who was on Table Cheese with me a while back, he and the Rupees actually went out to PAX, and PAX is a lot more fan oriented and like networking and like being able to talk to other people in the industry. So I know they got to meet up with like other podcasters and like content creators that there are all these people that you talk to on Twitter and will like have correspondence with, but PAX seems to be like the destination of like everybody's going. So, you know, it's like GDC. Like if you want to network with developers, you go to GDC. And considering
Exactly.
GDC and PAX happening around the same time, it's like fans and content creators all kind of congregated in Boston, and developers and publishers and like the games like creative side of everything was congregating in San Francisco for that.
See, like you say that, and like I was just talking to a few cosplayers a couple days ago about how they're not excited about going to cons this year because it's just so hectic. You get so worn out and drained, and I feel like stuff like this is like a good break from stuff like that. You get to see all the con goodness without having to walk the floor, go like in different panels, like do all that kind of stuff. But you get all the stuff that you wanted to get from there in the first place. So like I feel like this is a good change, a good difference from like walking like the showroom floor and seeing X, Y, and Z. And it's gonna be like a show. I'm here for it. I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, and I mean that one of the good things recently is around Summer Game Fest and around the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley will work with Steam and Xbox and PlayStation and
Yeah.
get demos out, and so more people are able to get hands on with the early, not necessarily as early as people behind closed doors would get at something like E3, but more people like the exciting demo that everybody's talking about that may get released post E3, like, you know, in like a 2012, 2015 time frame, now
Mm-hmm.
is being released day and date. And so you just hop on the PlayStation Store, hop on Steam, load up the Xbox Store, and there's a demo for one of the biggest games that had a trailer at one of the biggest press conferences of the summer. So,
It's so streamlined. I like it. Next up, we got. You know what? I was torn between which one to talk about. I was gonna talk about the one with the new characters and the new weapons, but I really want to talk about this Final Fantasy story. Like, Yoshida knows that Final Fantasy 16 has gone gold and is hopping a day one patch, hoping a day one patch won't be needed. Like, we were talking about this prior too. This is big, dude. Like, this is
confidence. Like we've
right.
known that it's pretty much been done for like almost a year at this point. I remember this time last year talking about like expecting it, you know, late 2022. Like
Right.
around spring 2022, I was like, yeah, by fall 2022 this game will come out. And then in the summer when they announced that it'd be coming out this summer, it's like, all right, they got a year to polish, and it seems like they've done all the polishing, all the tweaking, everything they've needed to do, and they have enough time between now and manufacturing that if they can get it to a point where it doesn't need a day one patch, I mean, that would be huge. You know,
Take it.
just
Take it
it's a
back.
game that comes out on a disc and you put it in your system. No need to patch. No need for online. No need for nothing. You just put the game in and it plays and it works.
We got to revisit this. Someone got to write this down. I got to write this down because I want to come back to this.
I mean, I got
Like
it
that.
pre-ordered. I will definitely put the research in, have it, you know, unlock the minute it's available. Like
And
literally have the countdown up on my screen, and then the second the game unlocks, have it open, and
your
just.
phone's gonna be silent, full on silent. Like, don't talk to me. I'm not talking to nobody.
I mean, you can try, and but yeah, if you know that Final Fantasy 16 has come out in the last 24 hours, just know that that's why you haven't gotten a response.
Mm-hmm. That's why.
I'm
Oh,
busy.
Anton's playing Final Fantasy. Yeah, you like that with Monster Hunter too. So yeah, there you go. Like, I get it. I really do. Man. Whew. I remember like the last Final Fantasy game I even got like a really remotely excited for. And don't judge me. It's Final Fantasy X2. Like, I know. Show my age. I got it. But still, like, that was the last game I really got excited for Final Fantasy wise. And
Well, I
for a
mean,
while.
on launch 15, I didn't get 15 on launch. I got 15, and then I got 15 when it was like on a super sale, and I waited because they had announced a roadmap. So they had the first roadmap, which they did all of it, and then they announced the second roadmap, and they only did the first part of that, and then that was it. So for 15, I waited till 15 was done
Okay.
and played that, and I thoroughly enjoyed 15. Like, I know 14's the MMO and it's kind of a different story, but yeah, 10.2 was PS2, but there was still 11 and 12 that came out after that.
Yeah. And 11 was very well talked about. A lot of
Yeah,
people talked about it. Like, what it was always good talk is relative, but like, it was very much talked about for sure for 11. And like, but it just, the way it looked and like the gameplay to it, and it was like one of the first one that was online. Like, this isn't for me. I don't want this. I don't want this. But
right.
you know, a
Like
lot of people liked it.
with because 14 is the first MMO. Well, I guess second. Destiny would be like the first MMO that I really got into. But I playing 14 and enjoying 14 so thoroughly, part of me would like to go back. So Square Enix had, during the PS2 era, two, and I mean this is more PS2 Wii, so late PS2, early Wii. They had two online versions of their major franchises. They had Final Fantasy XI online, and they had Dragon Quest X online. And Dragon Quest X, I think it's either just recently launched in Japan or is launching soon in Japan. We're getting, they're getting in Japan, because there's Dragon Quest games like ports and remasters and stuff that are out in Japan that just aren't out in North America, and like Final Fantasy's been good about that since like the 360 days of like day and date international release, like and for whatever reason they're Switch games, like
it's a whole different bag of words right there, man.
Well, so on the PS4 in Japan, you can just go on the PSN store and get Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. Simple.
Gotcha.
Those just aren't out in North America for no reason. And there's like an English translation for these games because they're on the Switch. It's just, for whatever reason, they haven't ported. But Square is just weird like that. So Octopath Traveler 2 is on Switch, PlayStation, and Steam. Octopath Traveler 1 is on Switch, Steam, and Xbox. So Xbox has Octopath Traveler 1, but not 2. PlayStation has Octopath Traveler 2, but not 1. Switch and Steam has both of them. It's just kind of like... It makes no sense in such a frustrating way.
What are you doing this for, man?
It's simple. Like, if there's one thing we've seen of, like, you releasing stuff everywhere, especially in the case of Square Enix, but... And yeah, I guess they'd be the most egregious offenders with this, because even, like, Atlas has gotten a lot better with it. Like, a lot of these other JRPG companies is just like, screw it, it's everywhere. Whatever, we don't care. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is still weirdly exclusive to Switch, and there's some weird, like, AAA, like, third-party Switch exclusives that it makes no sense to me why they're not on PlayStation, but... Yeah, so getting back to Final Fantasy XI, so they're getting Dragon Quest X offline, which is the story, the characters, the world, everything, just not an MMO in a single-player game. So what I'm hoping is that they make the wise decision of doing Final Fantasy XI offline and let people like me who didn't play it originally, because they've brought back, if you look on Steam right now, in an official capacity, you can play Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16 will come later on down the road. So the only, like, omission out of the mainline numbered Final Fantasy games is 11. And on PlayStation, we know 1 through 6 are coming out. We have 7 through 10, and then we have 12, and then 14 and 15. So a noticeable omission there, 11 and 13. So we need a 13 trilogy remaster. Prove me wrong. Change my mind.
You brought up an interesting fact there, man. That's something to think about. And like a lot of stuff you throw out there usually comes to fruition. So we'll see what happens come either June or
we'll see. I've been trying to manifest for a few years now this Final Fantasy 13 trilogy remaster. I've been trying to do it since the PS4.
Right.
So That's one, like, Crisis Core Reunion, I feel like I single-handedly willed that into existence, so...
I heard you talk about manifesting games on GT controller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was the first one, I guarantee. I was like... Crisis Core was the Anton Sixxx, and we needed Crisis Core Remaster. We're like synonymous for a period of time. That was very early Anton Sixxx being a podcaster and a content creator and, a general internet person. I was like, Crisis Core, we need it. It's stuck on the PSP. It's a damn shame. Now it's on Steam, it's on Switch, it's on PlayStation, it's on it's on Xbox.
As soon as you touched it, new achievement unlocked. I got you.
That's like the only Final Fantasy that Xbox is getting for a while, so I hope they enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a good,
Right?
because they still haven't gotten 7 Remake. They're not getting 16. 7 Rebirth is PlayStation. So, I mean, y'all enjoy it.
I mean, yeah.
Couldn't be
like
me.
No, couldn't. I need me some Final Fantasy in my life. Agreed. We do have like the big bad that you're playing right now. Are you still playing like this game? Vampire Survivor has a second DLC. It's gonna introduce 8 new characters, 13 new weapons, a new stage, 7 music tracks, and 20 new achievements to re-earn your 100% save. So are you still playing Vampire Survivor?
Actually, so we talked about me playing Diablo 4, right?
Yeah, the hour demo, 2-hour demo.
Well, I guess since the last time we talked about it, I went on and I beat the demo, made it to level 20, like 22. So I got my wolf pup whenever I end up playing the full game. And yeah, finished the campaign of the demo. So Act 1, I know none of the progress or anything will carry over. I got a couple cool skills, like passive attributes and like percentage chances of cool things happening over the course of playing that. But the first weekend, I guess, when we originally talked about me playing it, while I had to wait in queue. So what I did is I booted up Vampire Survivors and I played the first DLC stage to try and unlock some more secrets in that, as far as, because I don't have 100% save.
Okay.
I'll say that, like, I have a lot of achievements and I'll consistently play and, like, be working towards getting more achievements in the game, but I definitely don't have 100% save on Vampire Survivors. Like, I thoroughly enjoy it every time I play it. It's a great time passer, and so, like, I had to wait in queue for about an hour for Diablo the first weekend, and I just sat my controller down. I was in Discord and picked up my Steam Deck and Vampire Survivor, and it was great. And so I want to see if I can find the actual price, because I think it's only $2 for this new content.
Or the new DLC?
Yeah, because originally I want to say Vampire Survivors, when it was in early access, was like $3, and then it's $5 like when it got full release, so $5, and then the first DLC was $2, and then now it looks like this second DLC will also be $2. So even if you pay for this at its most, like, price gougingly, like, even if you do all the microtransactions, all the everything, you're still working out to a smooth $9, which...
Yeah, that's it. That's a burger, man. Yeah, and it comes out April 13th, the second DLC.
Yeah.
You talked me into it. I gotta get it. I want to see if I can use my new Bluetooth controller attached to this. We'll see what happens. It may not work. I probably gotta get myself a different one. So, well, I'm in for playing it.
Yeah. So on phone it's free. I don't know if it has either of the DLCs, but on Xbox and Steam. So like I play it on Steam Deck, but I know it's also available on Xbox, and so the mobile version's free. But I don't know if it has either of the DLC content, or when it's getting the DLC content.
I'm gonna get myself to this point, but I haven't worked myself up to getting the Steam yet. Like I feel like I gotta get myself a console first, then I can get the Steam. But the Steam is on the list. Here's something I want to ask you. Ever since I heard about this other story, like the Nintendo bringing out the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, OLED
Yeah.
like game station, like it doesn't come with the game. I know this already, and it comes out. I think it comes out in June. I
No,
think it's June.
April
Is
28th.
it April?
Yeah, the
Thank you.
same day as Sunbreak come into PlayStation.
Okay. Gotcha. Do you think the Steam Deck are gonna get an OLED Steam?
No,
console?
they actually just talked about it. Maybe further down the road, but that iteration is going to be further out than we think. It
Okay.
seems like it took them a long time to get to the design and the spec that they wanted and the performance that they wanted out of the Steam Deck. And so like the amount of time they invested into getting it to like the point that they wanted it at, an OLED didn't seem to be part of their vision for it. And like while OLED screens are nice, I am completely fine with just high quality LCD screens. So
Yeah, I'm not too fancy for those either. So I hear you. And as we speak, I am downloading Vampire Survivor. So it's gonna be done. I mean, I get to play until like maybe tomorrow or the day after, but it is downloading as we speak. So sorry, Snap. Gonna have to take a break from you. Play some other games. We'll see what happens.
well, we'll see. You got to have that first run that like accidentally eats up like at least 30 minutes and you don't even realize it.
I heard about that. Yeah, I watched a few videos after we talked about it the first time. Like, you will get sucked in. I think even Greg Miller for Kind of Funny talked about like you will get sucked into the game like the first couple of goes. Like you will get just like immersed inside of it. So definitely can't play it tonight. My night is jam packed with a lot of other stuff. But for those of you out there who want to play this, like $9 altogether for like the game on Xbox for like the first DLC and the second DLC, $9. Yep. April 13th
Steam
when this comes out.
Or Xbox. And
Steam
if you want just the base game content, it's free on iOS and Android. So
yeah, do what I'm doing. Are you still playing Snap, by the way?
So my Steam Deck, Snap is now considered playable on Steam Deck. So
right, episode,
yeah. But I opened it, but it's not linked to my account that's on my phone with all my progress.
Do what now? What?
So what I have to do, or what I did, and I started the process, and the process will be done by the end of April, and then I'll really be back on Snap because I'll be able to play it on my Steam Deck, is I had to finish the tutorial on the incorrect account and then submit to have the account deleted. And then now I have to wait 30 days from submitting.
The deletion?
Right. I have to wait 30 days to let the deletion go through. And if I try and open the game through that account again, it'll just reactivate it and I'll have to resubmit. And then it'll probably take longer. So I can play on my phone, no problem. Like on my main account, like actually do that. Like I think I've done my like daily login, like log in, get some credits, see if there's anything that I can use.
The same thing too.
But when that account is deleted, I'll be able to link the login method that I was using on my Steam Deck on my phone to that Marvel Snap, and then I'll be able to play the same save file, the same way I do it with Bleach Brave Souls, where it's the same save file on my Steam Deck and my phone, and it's just whichever one I decide to play it on. It's the same save file, same account. I'll be able to do that with Marvel Snap on my Steam Deck and my phone.
I tell you, that sounds convoluted as hell. But if it works, it works.
It is, but yeah, it should work. By all accounts, it will work. It's just now I'm in a waiting game.
Well, I'm gonna come back in a few weeks. I'm gonna ask you again.
25 days from now is when it.
It's like you're trying to get verified on Instagram like 2 years ago. That's nuts. All right. That was the process. That is the process. Oh, that was the process for getting verified. Like you got to do it only once a month. If you do like more than once until like to get out of here, and your viewership go down. Internet's fun. Internet's a fun place to be. I think we got one more story to talk about. What the hell was that story? Oh, this is something I want to talk to you about. April Fool's was yesterday. April Fool's Day. A lot of weird stuff happening. But like one of the biggest one that really got my attention was all the voice actors from the new Mario movie did voice work for the characters in the video game.
Well, yeah, that wasn't an actual thing. They just kind of used those voices and edited together that.
Right.
For me, one of the standout things was the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is an actual game that I have actually installed on my Steam Deck, and
no way, really?
Yeah, might mess around with. I see that Among Us did horse mode, and Overwatch did the googly eyes again.
Right, the googly eyes. I saw that one.
And this isn't the first time. It's good to see they brought it back in Overwatch 2. It's just, I can't play Overwatch. I can't. I had my fun Season 1, and then Season 2 showed me that they were just back to their old ways so quickly. Like, they had that positive first wind of, like, yeah, Overwatch 2 is big and exciting and new and it's different. And then it's like, oh, no, it's not. It's just a bunch of meta slaves and sweaties and people throwing. And, yeah, it's just all the bad.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I couldn't get on board with that either. There's a lot of cats on here. Like, from, like, who all has cats? Like, Street Fighter has cats. Looks like Rainbow Six has cats. Assassinate a Cully teddy bear in Rainbow Six Siege. There's a horse in Among Us. Horse universe with Genshin Impact. Playable cats. There's a lot of cats inside like these April Fool pranks.
I don't know. That might be a Japanese, but wait, Genshin's not Japanese. I want to say Genshin is Chinese. Is that a thing?
I don't know. You know, it could be. Is it the year of the cat?
Is it?
Do we know?
But April, Chinese New Year is not April.
I mean, but it's like a whole year of like the animal, though, isn't it? Or is it just
No, it is. But typically, like I know when Overwatch would do their Chinese New Year event, it would always be like late January, early February. And, like, yeah, the entirety of the year. Like, I was born in the year of the dog, as far as, like, the Chinese calendar goes. But typically they celebrate and theme things around that animal.
The rabbit is here, too, so it's not even cat.
Wow.
Yeah, weird. A lot of cats. I don't get it. Well, it's not for me to get.
You know, I knew it was the year of the rabbit because of... Miriko from My Hero Academia.
Right.
There was a lot of fan art around Chinese New Year of her for Year of the Rabbit. So
I think that's all I got. On April Fool's Day. Also, we got to hang out with Radek for his birthday, which was also like the... Was it April Fool's Day? It was April Fool's Day we hung out with them, yeah.
Yeah, well, it bled over into it. It started off March 31st is his actual birthday. And so...
It was like a 4-day event?
Yeah, he was just doing consistent shows night after night, really out there, like...
owning the streets of Atlanta. Like, we got to see, like, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and the skyline. It was nice.
Oh, yeah. It was like... was that my first rooftop party? I think that was my first rooftop party, and I mean...
And you finally got to meet my wife. That was also an interesting event. We made jokes like that you guys didn't think I was married because, I never talk about my wife at all. Just don't. Like it's not like me being private. It's like she's not into the stuff that we're into. She just isn't. I wish she was.
Yeah.
Not really, because if she was, like, she would take over, and I don't need that in my life. So you love who you love, man. But your wife was there too. It was a good time.
Yeah.
We had a fun time. I got to see Madrid.
Yeah.
He took off like a little early, but it was nice to see him also.
Yeah, you had just missed Jalen, and then
they were there hanging out.
Oh, and while we're talking about it, I know Jones, Josh Jones, Robot Jones, Drunk Man Jones, New Boot Goofin, like the man of many names. Released new music. Released the EP and a single available on Spotify, Apple Music. Hold Your Applause is the EP. And I gotta look up the name of the single, but it's by I Know Jones, and I highly recommend everybody, local Atlanta artist, check out his music.
Send me the link. I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah. You want an Apple Music link?
Yeah, I'll put it right in the show notes for you guys to listen to. Absolutely.
And if you guys are listening on Spotify or anywhere else, it's also available there. So. But it's Hold Your Applause and Midnight by I Know Jones.
It was a good time. If you guys ever come to Atlanta, you want to work with somebody who's cool, definitely check out Radic Records. Like, he's good at what he does. He's a good vibe. Always bring like a good atmosphere with him. So make sure you definitely hit him up if you're in the Atlanta area, for sure.
Yeah. Radic Records on Instagram.
There you go. I think that's the show. I think that's all we got. Unless you got something you want to throw in there at the end, in little tidbits.
No, I think we've kind of exhausted my list of things. We got the new PlayStation Plus games for next month, and it has a game I was holding out on. Let me go actually bring up the list just so I don't misquote it. PlayStation Plus. All right. So our April games are Meet Your Maker, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, and Tales of Iron. So I wanted to play Sackboy: A Big Adventure. I was a huge fan of Little Big Planet 1 and 2. 3 not so much, but this one, it's had consistent free DLC on PSN, so I probably have like 20 or 30 costumes that the second I claim this game for free, because it hasn't really gone on sale. It's one of the few like launch window PS5 games that hasn't been free or on a significant sale almost at all in its entire run. So
shade, but you strike me as a guy who's a Little Big Planet fan. Like, only because like I am too. Like I wore that game out when it first came out because it was pretty much Mario Maker, but not Mario Maker.
Pre-Mario, it was Mario Maker pre-Mario Maker.
Exactly. And that was my go-to for a while. So like you being like a big fan of it, it's not a big surprise to me whatsoever. So yeah, I definitely get it.
I had the Little Big Planet 2 Collector's Edition. My first one was actually Little Big Planet PSP because I didn't have a PS3 yet, and so I played the PSP one. Like played the life out of that.
That was talked about a lot. Yeah, everyone played that game for sure. If you making little custom characters, like yeah. You were like getting,
and that was kind of one of the appeals of Little Big Planet was like as the games went on, the DLC stayed. Like if you had the Final Fantasy VII official pack in Little Big Planet 1, that would carry all the way through to Little Big Planet 3 for you. And so, but then they'd always add more on top of whatever. So, let's say they had Horizon Zero Dawn and Little Big Planet 2, which that definitely doesn't line up timeline-wise, but just they had Uncharted 2 Nathan Drake in Little Big Planet 2, and they'll probably have Uncharted 4 Nathan Drake in Little Big Planet 3.
Also, like I don't want to leave the Xbox fans out with the Go Free games. In April, we got Out of Space Couch Edition. from April 1st to the 3rd, and we got Peaky Blinders Mastermind from April 16th to May 15th. So I don't get the Peaky Blinders sensation, like, it doesn't do it for me. It's whatever, but Cillian Murphy is cool, but the show is just for me, so it's whatever.
Yeah, someone told me to check out the show. I kind of gave it I feel like what was a fair shake because I wanted to check it out for the person who told me to watch it.
Cillian Murphy's in it, yeah.
It just didn't.
Wow.
But
that's a lot to digest.
I mean, if you're on Game Pass, if you're on Xbox, and you have Game Pass, you're better off playing things that are on Game Pass than the things you're getting with Games of Gold. PlayStation, we're still at a point where, like, Meet Your Maker is a day one PlayStation Plus launch game. Like, you could think
which is wild. Sorry, that's just wild to me, man. Like
Fall Guys, Rocket League, some of the biggest like community focused games came out that way, whereas like day one is free on PlayStation Plus, and they made a name for themselves with that. So Meet Your Maker's trying to do the same thing. We'll see. I've been hearing it get positive buzz. I mean, it'll be free Tuesday, so I'll check it out.
You can't go we are definitely PlayStation guys, you and I both. But like, you just can't go wrong with it. But if you do have Xbox, there's stuff for you too. So there's that. I would. And also, what I could see your lips.
Well, no, I just remembered something. I remembered last week we talked about me trying out the Elden Ring ray tracing.
I remember that,
and it's not that mind blowing of a thing. It's the shadows are more realistic and more detailed, but the reflections, we don't necessarily get the reflections like on water surfaces and stuff.
Given the era, it will kind of make sense though, right? Like given like what kind of time period you're in with Elden Ring, that makes sense though, right?
Well, I mean, water had reflections on its surface through all of time. So that's kind of, there are surfaces like swords should have metals.
I like how you said that, Anton. Well, logically.
Yeah. I mean, if like one of the things is to add realism through realistic lighting and reflections, like part of that is the reflections part of it.
The reflection part of it. Gotcha. Absolutely gotcha. I feel like we walked into a maelstrom of silliness in that whole conversation. I'm gonna take it back what I said. So there you go. So Elden Ring ray tracing, not the best in Anton's eyes. So there's that.
I wouldn't give up the frame rate for it. I don't think you should either. Later on down the road, if it gets better optimized and you can run high frame rate with ray tracing in Elden Ring, I'd say sure, go for it. But it's not the like revolutionary jaw-dropping jump like that, like Spider-Man when it...
No, Spider-Man, yeah.
Or the recent Cyberpunk update, or even Minecraft. Like, Minecraft with ray tracing is the one that is... Yep, look it up. You want to talk about...
You saw that, huh? You saw me doing it.
He was like, wait a minute.
You're starting to understand me, Anton. I appreciate that. So definitely gotta look this up since you said something. Just gotta give it a go looky-loo. Holy hell, I got a side by side. Oh my god! all I saw was like the description, like the wow. You gotta be kidding me, dude.
You never thought Minecraft would blow you away like that, did you?
Like, how could it? It's Minecraft. Like, yep. It's just
that's the power of ray tracing. That is when, like, well implemented, like, yeah.
Dude, my kids would go nuts for this. My daughter, like, she likes making libraries and pools and whatnot. She like making like big houses and shit. Like she would go nuts for this. My son, he just goes swimming in the water the entire time. This is wow. I should probably say this. I should probably put this in the show notes for you guys to check out, because this is absolutely insane. Man, you gotta stop blowing my mind every episode, Anton. Because yeah, that was nuts. I was gonna ask, like, was Ghost of Tsushima also part of this whole ray tracing thing that's
No,
going
not
on.
yet. Maybe with
Not
the
yet.
sequel.
Right. So like audio just played, and that was right in my ear. Good God. Let me send this link to you just so I can save it for myself in the future. All right. You see that? Like I saw that thumbnail and like I lost it. That did it all for me. Was the thumbnail I just sent you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I got April Arena going on right now on FTO Nerd Talk. All platforms, mostly on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. April Arena is just like how some people see March Madness. It's a bracket game, mostly with comic book supervillains. Today, the day of me recording this, is Sebastian Shaw and Emma Frost going up against Abomination. All Marvel characters for that one, but it's going to be like characters all around the Marvel and DC universe. And I'm having fun with this. I do this just about every single year. I didn't want to do it this March because I took a hiatus around the end of November. And my hiatus didn't really start back until just now. So, yeah. I'm back. I'm doing whenever I do like March Madness, that's when like I'm officially back. I'm officially back. So, brace yourself.
All right. I just voted in the day one.
Who'd you pick? Is it going to be anonymous? Who'd you pick?
Yeah, it's anonymous. We'll see.
Boo!
Currently losing. That might give you your answer.
That might give my answer.
On the losing side of history.
These things are just always fun. Like it always brings people in, just like to talk about comics. Not everyone talks about it, but it's nice to put some funness, because if you guys follow the news, it's a rough go at times watching the news or following the world trends. So this stuff here is a good escape. Like I always say, you can't escape something if you don't take part in it. And like a lot of us take part in life, and it's always fun just to go to FTO Nerd Talk or go to Cheese the Controller and just relax from all that and just talk about something that doesn't make your head hurt. So I am one of your hosts of Table Cheese. I am D. Make sure you check me out FTO Nerd Talk wherever you find FTO Nerd Talk.
All right, and you can find me around the internet, cheesycontrollerpodcast.com, on Twitter at Anton Sixxx with 3 X's, on Instagram and PlayStation Network, Anton the number 6 with 2 X's.
He's looking for 1,000 followers on Twitter. That's his goal for this year. Let's make it happen.
1,000 followers. I am at a strong 558. We can, just double that right quick.
Just give it a go. Double dub. This has been a great episode. Until next time, you guys take it easy.
And keep it cheesy.
Hey guys, D here of FTO Nerd Talk. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about FTO Nerd Talk. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.